Non-state actors. Let's talk about the non-state actors today. And these are strongly influenced towards nation governments, and they are also called transnational actors. They are divided in 4 categories: international organization, non-governmental organization, multinational corporations, and other. Let's take a look at each of these ones. For example, intergovernmental organizations are those whose members are national governments, such as United Nations, the World Trade Organization, African Union, etc. And the non-governmental organizations are private corporations. Some of them are considerable in size and resources. Some others of this group have a political purpose, some a humanitarian one, and some an economic or technical one. Intergovernmental organizations are those whose members are national governments, we continue with this one. And multinational corporations are companies that span multiple countries. The interests of a large company doing business globally do not correspond with anyone's state interest. Example, eBay, Amazon, Walmart, FedEx, etc. And the other group is others. Various other non-state actors interact with state, intergovernmental organizations, and multinational companies. Example, Greenpeace, UNICEF, UNESCO, the Nature Conservancy, among others. How about the level of analysis? This is a perspective on IR based on the set of similar actors or processes that suggest possible explanation to why questions. Why what happens, okay? IR scholars have proposed various levels of analysis, and between them we have individual level, domestic level, interstate level, and global level. Let's take a look of each of these. Individual level concerns the perception, choices, and actions of individual human beings. Example, Lenin, Stalin, Marx, etc. You know that this person in history has influenced globally. Domestic level concerns the suggestions or individuals within a state that influence state actions in the international arena. Such aggregations include interest groups, political organizations, and government agencies. Let's take a look at this level of analysis and what can be studied from each perspective. For example, the global level, we can study North-South gap, war ration, European imperialism, norms, religious fundamentalists, terrorists, war environment, technological change, information revolution, global communication, worldwide scientific and business communication. From the interstate level, we can start power, balance of power, alliance formation and dissolution, wars, treaties, trade agreements, IGOs, diplomacy, summit meetings, bargaining, and reciprocity. From the domestic level, we can study nationalism, ethnic conflict, types of government, democracy, dictatorship, domestic coalition, political parties and elections, public opinion, gender, economic sector in industries, military-industrial complex, and foreign policy bureaucracies. From the individual level, we can study great leaders, crazy leaders, decision-making, crisis, psychology and of perception, and decision learning. We can study citizen participation, voting, rebellion, going to war, etc. How about globalization? Remember that globalization includes expanded international trade, telecommunication, monetary coordination, multinational cooperation, technical and scientific cooperation, cultural exchanges, and new types and scales, migration and refugee flows, and relations between the world rich and the poor countries. That's the gap. And the one view sees globalization as the fusion of liberal or a global marketplace. States are thus losing authority to supranational institutions. The International Monetary Fund, the European Union, and transnational actors such as NGOs. Those are the ones that are losing authority to supranational institutions, okay? A perspective is skeptical of these claims about globalization. A school of thought sees globalization as more profound than skeptics believe, yet more uncertain than the view of supporters of liberal economies. And how about the global north and the states in the south? The global north-south gap between the relative rich industrialized countries of the north and the relative poor countries of the south is the most important geographical element at the global level of analysis. Countries with similar economic levels, cultures, and languages have been kept together where possible. States with a history of interaction, including historical empires or traditional zones, are also placed together in a particular region. Okay, let's take a look at the summary. Today we have been discussing the four categories with non-state actors, and we have intergovernmental organization, non-governmental organization, multinational corporation, and others. And there are four levels of analysis, and between them we have individual level, domestic, interstate, and dominance. And any event can be addressed from each of the four levels, or from the four levels. Globalization is internationalizing us, and the global north-south gap between the relative rich industrialized countries of the north and the relative poor countries of the south is the most important geographical element of the global level of analysis. Thank you. I hope you will have questions for the live.